Hi guys, welcome back to another episode. I hope that you're having a wonderful day, and I'm sure if you'd have bought AMC shares this morning, you probably are having a pretty decent day because AMC is up quite significantly today. We're up about 4% from market open, and from the lows at about 11 o'clock, we can see we are up a further 8%. So things moving in a very interesting way for AMC. We all know many reasons why. I'm going to give you all of my opinions and thoughts in this episode, and then we're going to be talking about what I personally think could happen tomorrow. If you might enjoy this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, but do remember that I am not a financial advisor and this is only just my opinion, so please consider that because obviously it's just what I think. With that being said though, let's jump in. Right then guys, we can see that over the past day AMC has actually been building quite a lot of traction, and this was to be expected, especially with that Reddit thing come out just a few days ago talking about the fact that a lot of people are still holding AMC stock, and of course for understandable reasons this got a lot of people hyped thinking that they can still trigger a short squeeze, and I don't think that's impossible. I definitely think now that we know this information it is possible that a short squeeze could be triggered. I think subsequently today a lot of people bought in to AMC stock, obviously trying to trigger that and make quite a lot of money. Now if it was to short squeeze, we just don't know how high it's going to go. Personally I can't put a target on that, but I can say if it was to squeeze it would be quite insane returns. Just looking at some of the other stocks that have squeezed in the past, we got companies like GME obviously, which rocketed from like $20 I do believe, or at least relatively cheap, all the way to a few $100s in a matter of 1 or 2 days. So of course once a stock does start to squeeze it definitely does get a lot of a price increase, and that does give a lot of people profits. So I think that overall people were quite optimistic to buy this one today. I think going forwards into the next week they probably will continue to buy this one, trying to trigger that squeeze. Now I think tomorrow could be a tale of either two stories, in the sense that it could definitely rocket even further depending on how many people purchase a share, or it could also come down if people are selling off with the profits that they already have. Now when it comes to AMC and stocks in this field, obviously it's Reddit and a lot of these other forums which are hyping these stocks. I think these people are quite loyal to kind of triggering the squeeze and they really want it to happen. So I don't really think that people will be selling this one in my opinion. I think if anything we probably are going to see people buy more, but it is just hard to say where this one is going at the minute. That's my personal opinion based on what we have been seeing from what other people think, in the sense that people really are trying to trigger this one. This is not the stock trading on its own action, this is people doing this intentionally. Is that a bad thing? No. And of course if it was to squeeze it definitely could give some people pretty big profits. Now, of course, I've been actually responding to quite a lot of comments recently on AMC stock, and I was asking people how many shares they owned. People are owning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 shares of AMC, and that costs an insane amount of money, and that definitely could bring back some very insane returns if it was to squeeze. But personally, if I was going to be buying AMC, I would not put too much money into this one, definitely only as much as I can afford to lose. We've seen people try and squeeze other stocks, or at least try and get into these stocks which are apparently going to squeeze, and sometimes it happens, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it doesn't happen. And yes, it would be lovely for it to squeeze, and it's not impossible, but obviously we got to plan for a worst case scenario, and if you aren't willing to lose as much as you've put in, it's probably not a good investment. So personally I wouldn't put too much into it, and even that could generate some decent returns. But obviously AMC is being speculated on quite a lot, so it is still a speculative play in the sense of its stock, but I definitely think that tomorrow is going to be relatively flat, if not more to the upside. And now I definitely think it is possible that people could trigger a squeeze for this one. It's not 100% certain, don't get me wrong, and there is still a chance that it couldn't happen, but obviously there is now the chance that it also could, because the past week was quite pessimistic for AMC. It was pretty flat to be honest, and now things are kind of coming green as a lot of that hype is getting into the market on Monday, people trying to buy this one as soon as possible, and I do believe that is why we saw this one rocket and market open and then sell off a bit after, as some people probably took profits, and then a lot of people bought in at that dip, forcing the price even higher. So the question is, how much do you believe this one is going to squeeze? If you think it is, maybe buy 1 to 5 shares of this one, maybe a bit more, you tell me if you can afford it. But basically guys, I think AMC does have a lot of potential short term. If you are getting to this one, yes, it does still have that potential long term, and if you are trying to buy this one for the long term, would I buy it right now? Obviously not, because it has been pumped up quite a lot in the past day. Not necessarily a bad thing, because it could give some decent long term returns anyway, but short term I think that is really where it is with AMC, and in that period we could see the stock price explode. So please do tell me what you think it's going to do down in the comments. Personally I'm going to be watching AMC quite closely, and I know that you guys do enjoy these videos, so I will keep making videos on AMC. And on top of that, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you do want to watch them. Thank you so much for your time. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye until then.